Hello everybody and welcome to the first playoffs game of Revolution Overwatch. Here we have two very good teams. It's going to be a Division 1 game. So we are going to be seeing Choco Bros, one of the old OG teams coming from Nevermore, but decided to take a break and then come back. And Helios DM. I think one of the three teams in all of the divisions that actually have some production staff on them. So we've already gone through a few games. We are on the fourth map. But don't fret, it's not a full sweep yet. Choco Bros has two, Helios has one, so there's still a chance that Helios can come back. We are on the third map. Nothing has been really set in stone yet, so we are getting ready for the attack of what I think is going to be Choco Bros. So, Soldier, why don't you lead us in? What do you think this that King's Row? How do you think it's going to go for either of these two teams?
Well, I don't know entirely what is going to happen here. I know, maybe from a bias standpoint, that I think Choco Bros might be the better team here for King's Row. Simply for a couple reasons. One, I know Choco Bros has the better tank line, I believe, from my experience. At least past, whenever I used to play with them. Pi is a excellent Reinhardt, and obviously King's Row is a Ryan's Heaven. And Ponyo, I believe, is, from looking at this lineup, is going to be the off-tank as well, and she's an excellent Zarya. So, based off that, just from the tank line, I think Choco Bros has the advantage here. Now, that said, they do have Xerxes on the side of Helios, which is obviously an excellent Pharaoh, so that can easily negate any Rhine or Zarya if done properly. So, and obviously Sparkle is an excellent healer. So we'll see what happens, but I'm gonna go in favor of Choco Bros on this one, just for the fact of they have what I believe is the superior tank line.
Okay. So this is playoffs. So while the teams do have 2-2 lock is initiated. So two supports, two tanks, and 2 DPS, and also Sigma is live. So while don't expect Sigma, because Sigma's probably not going to be run, but just keep it in the back of your mind that a team can totally switch off to Sigma if they really want to.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see Sigma for sure. I mean, we seen one last night. Were you there last night? I think we were. So
did I miss the Sigma? Did I miss the Sigma game?
Nah, I guess you did. Oh, that's terrible. So sorry.
I feel bad, man. So I get for not casting. Like I don't cast one day so I can take a break. But nah, Sigma's been played.
Big oof. Yeah. Sigma was played. I don't know how well he was played, but he was played. So I have no idea if either of these teams can do Sigma. I don't even know if really any teams can do Sigma. So, I mean, obviously it's a new character and it's only been out for like a week now. So, I mean, you don't have a whole lot of time unless you did a whole shitload of PTR, which, I mean, God knows they could have changed so much stuff in the meantime. So, it's
yeah.
I mean, you can get the basics down, but they're always tweaking stuff. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I still think that King's Row is gonna be Rhineland, or at least Orisa.
Yeah. So just to go through the because we weren't here at the beginning, I do see some new people. I see Snotty on the side of Choco Bros, as well as Ignored Pies. I think I've seen Ignored Pies once. I think this is my first time seeing Snotty up. And I think it's also my first time seeing DJ Cole on the side of Helios DM. So I'm definitely excited to see these games. I want to see Ponyo tank. I want to see Danny. I want to see what are we actually gonna be seeing Sigma right now? There
it is.
I think we're actually gonna be seeing some Sigma.
Sigma Orisa.
This is actually gonna be really nasty. Have you experienced the double shields? It's so dirty.
I seen it in a comp game the other day, and it actually worked out really nice.
Yeah, defense is sort of getting a little bit insane. So taking a look at it, Baptiste really doesn't have any sustain. So they're hoping for Ponyo to sort of sustain for them, and King's Outlaw is going to be dishing out massive amounts of heals. I mean, to be honest, he doesn't have any, like I said, no sustain. Can only do healing. He does have that the lamp that a lot of people think is actually great, but it's it can be destroyed. So there's nothing too good to look at it. And we're just running your standard Mei Reaper comp on the side of Helios. So going into the Xerxes God is going to be playing Mei, so expect some big plays. We do see Snotty caught off guard, gonna get picked off in the first fight. That's going to be absolutely huge. Choco Bros really needs to watch their positioning right now, because if they just keep on playing like this, then they're going to be the ones to fall down. I know you definitely gave the advantage to Choco Bros right now, but what I'm seeing, they're getting absolutely stomped on by Helios. Helios doing some great Mei walls. Their focus fire is absolutely on top, going for ignored pie. Now they're gonna start looking for King's Outlaw, because those supports, you just can't let them live. I think those are actually the only two things left. They tried running the Sigma. I don't think that the Sigma was necessarily a problem. I think it was the fact that Snotty got caught a little bit off guard in the first push. But that's gonna be the first point taken. What did you take from that?
Well, going off the double shield, at least seeing it in this perspective, in King's Row, it does not seem like it works on this point very well. I'm small brain, so maybe I'm wrong here, but that close with double shields just means that you can just run through both shields and it's not an issue. So I think it looks like having double shield at a range is probably going to be your best bet. But looks like we got engagement going on here, so.
Yeah, so the cold lessons come out after the lamp couldn't really dish out the healing, or, well, the sustain that they were really looking for. So cold lessons comes out. So now the push is sort of forced back onto under this little arch, which is actually pretty good if you're looking on the side of Helios. Now, you want to play aggressive like they just did, so you have a little bit more room to fall back on, but you need to understand that you don't have an infinite fallout room, as TX is going to get taken out, and now the aggressive plays from Choco Bros is going to come in. Even if you have a Mei, even if you have a really good wall, you're going to get walled up yourself, and that's just going to sort of spell the downcast for the rest of this push, as they're going to try to save Xerxes, but he might be able to live through this. Going really low, gonna get saved up. So they almost have Blizzard, they almost have the Beyblade coming in, but the damage might just be a little bit too much. Maze, Blizzard comes out, and the real freeze comes in. They try to contest it with their own Blizzard and own bomb, but the damage is just a little bit too much on par. Lamp is there. They do try to Beyblade it, but it doesn't really connect with anyone, meaning that even though we do see a lot of kicks off from the side of Helios, you're not going to be pushing as far as they want to.
Yeah, I don't think this double shield thing is going to work here. As I said before, it looks like you have to have time to lay your shield down, and you have to do it at a certain distance, and then you have to relay it again, where Helios DM has a fairly mobile lineup, so they're just running right through those shields, and they don't do jack and shit.
Yeah, that's like the really nice part when you're running Mei Reaper, is you're so mobile. The comp at that point is basically WM1 and you just go for it. We're gonna see a Sigma ult come out, but ooh, Mei's already in cryo, so it doesn't really matter. Danny is gonna be the last hope for this team. They need hope to get a really nice push right now. Get a few picks off. Danny's gonna be the lead as well as Panyo and Sigma are gonna be getting quite a few kills. They did have to pop a few ults for that fight, losing only King Outlaw. So this is their chance to really put a stake in this coffin.
Well, I mean, at least they held this off, so I mean, nobody has ults right now, so, I mean, apparently we just had a whole bunch of Qs go off, so it'll be interesting to see, how this next fight goes, between the two teams with no Qs going off. Maybe red team, or Helios DM will just come in and get some, why am I accepting group? Maybe we'll just come out and get some ult percentage and then do their, second push.
Mm-hmm. Now, you can see what Choco Bros is thinking right now. They're so tired of what is so annoying. DJ is so annoying. This Reaper, no one can really deal with them. So they're running Danny to hope they get that sweet, sweet stun off and just take out DJ as soon as possible. And here, DJ's going to come in. Blizzard's going to come in as well, but it's not from the side of Helios. In fact, it's from the side of Choco Bros. That means that Xerxes actually be falling down. Doesn't matter how good of a Pharah you are, or how good of a Mei Pharah main that you really are. It's just not going to last too long. Choco Bros is actually having quite an easy time. It seemed like they were able to stop the steamroll or snowball that we definitely saw Helios try to implement.
It looks like we're gonna get an actual color caster in here besides Small Brain Soldier. So, do you have Beak added there, Mr. Bite Me?
Yes, I do. Let me get him in this quick game real quick.
Well, I mean, it looks like the double shield is doing decent here, which, I mean, maybe my idea holds true. I mean, they got at least some distance here between where Helios DM needs to be and where they want to be, or where they are and where they want to be. So the distance is helping a little bit, it seems. But
ooh, so the bomb comes out, but it is gonna get both bongos and immortality field. And you just have to feel for Helios right now. I mean, Helios is really getting ready to do this, but Danny and Bunk Doctor are completely denying it. The damage for that comes off from Sigma right now is absolutely insane. Like, it's sort of nasty how much damage Sigma can do right now. It's if you can hit your both shots properly, you can do as much damage as a Pharah rocket. And with Snotty freezing Xerxes, it's not going to look too well for them, so that means 45 seconds left. And while we're in the middle of this fight, let me introduce the new color caster. Sorry, Soldier, but you have been replaced by Beeks.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Sorry, better late than never for coming in, but I appreciate you having me here to cast.
yeah, you got a big oof.
Big oof, but yeah, it was good to be here. So what do we got here? So we got a male on the side of Snotty has that mail. Yeah, Chocoburst, thank you. This is the worst place to get held from the side of Helios DM because of how long they have to go and how long the spawn is. So I'm interested to see what these spawn roster changes happen.
Yeah, and not to mention that Anna's going to be the first one to be taken down in this fight. Snotty getting off a really nice pick. They're going to start looking for Stab, but they're going to get Snotty's going to actually get down TMX instead. Ryan's going to fall down. So Sparkle Muffins, and if you're Helios right now, you have to be really crying in your grave. There's nothing you can really do. They are going to try to Beyblade, but the Sigma's going to get so much shield off of that. I wouldn't even think about trying to hold this anymore. Stab's going to be the last one to fall off cart, and that is going to be held right before second point for Choco Bros.
I mean, you just saw this. I think it's a matter of comp there. You know, pushing Ryan into that Sigma, it's just really tough. Just how much he has to get in there. Plus, May, I think, cutting off both healers on the right side stairs. That already puts your team at such a disadvantage that it's going to be hard to get back to.
Mm-hmm. So do you think running a Lucio instead of maybe the Moira might have been a good choice just to go for that WM1 comp?
I think, if anything, you should be running Moira Lucio. So actually both of them. Just because you want to speed on to them if you're intent on running that Rhine, and then also just with how much healing output Moira can have, and just with her ult can come up every 25 seconds. Like that's where the tremendous value there lies in. And I mean, I think Baptist is more important when you're running that Orisa comp. For the picks and for securing those kills, and if you ever get put in that rough spot.
So I was actually talking to Soldier about Baptiste and why he's not as good as, he's a pretty good support, he just doesn't have any survivability. So while he has absolutely massive healing output, he doesn't have coalescence like Moira. He only really has Lamp, and Lamp doesn't provide that much survivability or sustain, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lamp, I mean, you never want to use that for yourself either, right? So that's... Like, if you're a Baptist and using it selfishly, you're probably getting not as much value as you usually can. I mean, his only sustain is his, I don't know what it's called, his little amp it up, his shift. Which only, it's kind of like a Lucio amp, which just gets you enough heals to sustain through certain abilities, but not enough. Once you're used, you're kind of extremely vulnerable to, like, a dive, per se. So, that's where that positioning comes in and not take as much poke as, maybe expecting. But now we're seeing a Basha come out here, so I want to see how Chocoburst handles this.
Yeah, I think Bastion, at least on the side of when you have a Baptiste, can actually be extremely good. I would also prefer a Sigma instead of the Diva, but that's just how I've been doing some comps lately. So here we are seeing.
Yeah, I want to see the May, and I want to see they have a lot of shield here. They have the May wall, they have the Ryan shield, and they have the Sigma shield. So the shield break is going to be, I think, not a problem for Chocoburst coming in. It's just a matter of the pathing they want to take. Interesting pathing coming out here.
They're going to try to jump, but they're going to fall a few meters flat instead of deciding to try to go for point, but not if Xerxes has anything to say about it. Taking out King's Outlaw means that this Ryan is actually going to be alone, allowing Xerxes to just go absolutely ham on them. A little bit of I'd say a misconstrued point. You didn't really know where to rotate, meaning that your tanks are going to definitely be the ones to struggle from that. They are going to take down Xerxes, which I feel is going to be huge help if they're going to continue to try to take this point. But you need to keep in mind that you really need to be looking at contesting DJ right now. DJ is going to be your main threat, even though, dealing with a Bastion right now isn't the most difficult thing at all. Coalescence is going to be popped as the fight for point does continue. DJ Pole's going to try to jump down, but going to feel the wrath of Snotty as Tanya is going to be able to get a pick. And now if you're on the side of Helios, it's not looking too good. I mean, yes, you did get a few picks off, but Snotty is going absolutely ham right now, dealing off so much damage. D.Va's going to be the next one to fall down, and that is going to be the first point taken by Chocobros.
Yeah, I mean, I think Helios DM has a couple good rotations there early on, but just I think got caught and then they dropped down, which is exactly what Chocobros wants, right? You know, you have a Reinhardt, you have a Mei, and you have a Reaper who just wants to brawl right in your face, where you have an Orisa on the other side and a Pharah, they just want to poke from distance. So it's just a matter of trying to get that win condition on whatever side, and I think Chocobros are able to get that eventually.
That's really what you don't want to do. I definitely saw like the Pharah fell down to Danny when he was going a little bit too close, which made me feel a tad bit bad, but not as bad as I'm not built for this bomb, almost doing so much more damage. Luckily, Ignite was able to sort of, ignore it, you know, deals the shields, but Sigma is going to feel the burn, stabbing him, taking out Danny, and right now, Helios is having an absolute field day doing a great defense right now.
Yeah, Chocobros needs to get back and reset, which is good that what they're doing. You know, they already wasted a Shatter there, didn't get a lot of value, so they have to get back to the drawing where they have Beat, they have they have Reaper ult, they have Mei ult. So I want to see a combination of these two that can secure some kills.
So they're going in with this Coalescence, hoping to get the survivability and also do some massive freeze damage. Bap is going to be frozen, but no one's going to have his eyes on him. But even that, you know, Chocobros already has so many picks off right now. They got Xerxes, Sparkle Muffins, almost the whole 1-2 right now. All they really need to do is deal with this Doomfist, and dealing with the Doomfist isn't really that difficult.
Yeah, and it comes back to like the, you know, what each comp wants, right? I already talked about how, you know, Chocobros wants to kind of brawl, and once Chocobros gets to the point, gets to this payload, they get to brawl, and like all Orisa can do from the other side is just back up and back up and back up, because you don't want to Ryan in your face. So it makes sense now that you know, Tex-Mex has switched over to the Ryan, that way they can kind of brawl equally, as well as get that poke from Xerxes.
So DJ Cole right now, I want to sort of focus on DJ Cole because he's going to be like a lot. We basically have so many one-hit kills, but he's not really playing to his strengths right now. Going in for the Meteorite. He wasn't really flanking, so I just don't feel like DJ Cole's really, you know, dealing the amount of damage that you sort of want him to do. Although in the front line, this brawl mentality is definitely happening. Look at TMX, look at Bubble or DJ right now, just getting completely brawled in by the Reaper. The Maze has some absolutely excellent walls. If I have to say, a player that played really well would be Snotty, and that is going to be the third game finish. That's going to be Chocobros getting the third win to Helios's 1. So that is going to be the end. Really short game, actually.
That was the fastest cast ever.
Yeah.
Well, from what I saw, it was well played by both teams, and there's good execution on the side of Chocobros. I mean, they were able to do exactly what they wanted to do with the comp that they had out, and it just took Helios a little bit longer to adjust.
If I had to give an MVP, I'm gonna have to say Snotty because he's a filthy. He's playing Mei, and I'm a filthy Mei main. I love it too much.
Dirty, filthy maze.
Yeah, you guys are having your time in the sun right now with being so meta.
Honestly, it's so nice. It would be nice if I had a Reaper to play with, but then no one wants to play Reaper apparently.
Well, one of the teammates that I have, Placebo, I'll give him a shout out here. He loves playing Reaper, so I think you guys already played yesterday, so you should give him a shout.
Yeah, that was so weird. Yeah, I didn't realize. Yeah, I ended up playing with Placebo the other night without even knowing, and I was playing Ana. I think he was playing Symmetra. We were on Paris. I think I meant the Nano, like the Sigma, but I actually nanoed the Sim. I mean, he didn't play that bad. He was actually
Hey,
good.
if there are worse things to Nano than a fully charged Sim, so
Dude, Sim's
you know,
actually like sort of insane right now.
You can strike the fear into the hearts of pretty much anyone when you have a fully charged Sim beam coming at you and like Nano. You're not going to kill her as fast as she's going to kill you. So
yeah, it's a no bueno. Also, you know, so do you think Zarya, before we like have to end off the stream because the cast was just so short, do you think Zarya has a place in the meta right now because of how good the beams are now that they've been quote unquote fixed?
I do. I think she's actually getting a lot of play with Sigma, that pair of tanks at the GM level. So I think just the amount of damage you can put on the like how dynamic you can put those shields. I think it does have a lot of place in the meta. So like, you know, she has a super strong ultimate. She's charging it even faster because of the damage. You know, with that tick change. So yeah, long answer short is yes, she does. I think.
So do you think Zarya Reinhardt's not gonna have a place in the meta after this? As soon as like people start learning how to play Sigma, do you think do you think Reinhardt's even gonna be played that much anymore? Other than like, because Sigma can sort of brawl like Rein can.
It depends. I mean, he can't cleave like Ryan can. So like you see all these shields, like, you know, Sigma's, you know, only gonna be able to burst down shields like any other, you know, kind of shooter character. But I think as long as Orisa and and Mei and Reaper are meta, Reinhardt will not have a place. He just really can't do much with that. Otherwise he just has to hold up his shield and just hope to God, we can pressure him down and get that Wraith form out, or get the ice block from the Mei out. So hey, as much as I want my boy Ryan to be meta, I just think he has to be a little bit more patient. I mean, he had his time to shine for about a year and a half in the GOATS meta.
Oh yeah, so did Brig. And people are... So now that we're on this subject of Brig, do you think... Cause I've been seeing a lot of play in Brig in, like, I'm gonna be honest, like the lower levels, like when I start playing, like when I play on my DPS account, I'm not ranked so high, I see a lot of Brig. So do you think Brig is... Now that they changed her, now that her, like, she can only eat like a tad bit of a shield, do you think like she's... she's not as good, but do you think like Brig still has a place in the meta right now, or no?
She might. I think it's a little too early to tell. I think in this specific meta, she doesn't have a place, just because Moira Lucio is like a really important pair, or BAP just to save a group of people. Now you have like the quote unquote new GOATs, or Fortnite GOATs, however you want to deem the name of it. But I think if the meta changes even a little bit, she might come back and might be like that anti-dive hero that she was originally designed to be, without being as oppressive as she once was, because she's been designed to be a little more of an actual healer, not a freaking off tank. But we'll see how the 222 affects that.
Honestly, we should probably just move Brig, just change Brig's E, and then just make it something different, and then just put her in op tank.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, everyone's been clamoring for more tanks, and she basically is a tank, and has been for the past year and a half. But as even Jeff Kaplan acknowledged, like, she's not that great outside of GOATs. So they had to change her. So I'm interested to see, once the meta shifts and the healer duos change, I want to see how they use her, and if they even do. Just because I think people need time to get used to her new kit, or the adjustment of her new kit, and versus like the tried and true heroes. You have all the healing output from Moira, you have Lucio for speed boost and amp and beat. So I mean, it's just kind of a matter of getting used to and experimenting with what works.
Well, thank everybody for coming to the one map you got to watch.
One map, who knows?
Unfortunately, Beeks' game came out as a forfeit against the Ramen Renegade, and they advanced on to the second round, the semifinals, if you wish to call it that, as well as the Choco Bros. So I don't have the standings up off the top of my head right now. I can get them real quick, but we do have a couple games going on tomorrow as well. We have actually, let's see. We have...
Oh, do they get reseeded after every round, or is it just the bracket that we see in Battlefy?
No, it's the bracket that you see.
I think we do play Choco Pros.
Well, then you play Choco Pros. I'd have to go through and check it out. I'm on the schedule right now. So tomorrow we have From the Ashes versus the Team Young Bombers. We have Helios Chroma versus Vasteris Young Boys. We have Born in the USA Academy versus Plat Attack. All these games so far at 9 p.m. And the exception to the rule is From the Ashes Crimson versus Mass Tranquility at 7. And then finally Power Wranglers versus the Power Naps at 9 o'clock as well. So we'll do the same thing as we did today. And we'll pick a random number between the 9 o'clock games, because I'll never be able to do 7 o'clock games. And we'll see if we can get one of those games streamed. Or maybe in the case of what happened today, maybe we'll just hop between streams. But hopefully we can get a full game tomorrow instead of the one map that we got in tonight. Let's check out the standings real quick on Battlefy and see what is going to be happening here.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, we're going to get a lot of good Overwatch over the course of the next week to finish up this inaugural season of Overwatch in Revolution, for sure.
semi-inaugural because of the whole transition from previous community. Kind of to the name Revolution, it's inaugural, but to the admins and the players, it's not really. Let's see here. All right. Well, my Battlefy is being a butt, so here we go. Division 1. Alright, so you guys advance on, you get to play Choco Bros. Love Shack is actually, their D1 team is actually pulling out, so Helicoris, is that how you pronounce it? Did I say it right?
Oh really? They're pulling out? Oh no.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. At least that's the last word we got. We'll see what happens. So they'll be advancing on, and then so they will play whoever wins from the Ashes versus Team Young Bombers. And while I believe from the Ashes is probably the superior team, I have to keep it up for my boys at Team Young Bombers.
Hey, Team Young Bombers was the only team that beat us this season, so don't take them lightly.
Oh no, absolutely not. I mean, they're an excellent team. They have the talent. Just so that Helios team has the talent as well. It's just teamwork is super important, and you gotta practice, and you gotta play together, and you gotta really try hard, just like the Beeks do apparently.
We like to experiment. We had some fun new comps for you guys tonight. I'm disappointed we didn't get to show you.
And for Division 2, so Love Shack Gaming Academy got the bye. We're not sure if they pulled out or not, but all we know is the Div 1 team did. So they, as far as we know, they get to go to the second round for free. And we got Helios Chroma versus Young Boys. Will be whoever is the winner of that will play Love Shack, and then oh, there we go, Sparkle confirmed. We have Cream Team versus Ragnarok versus whoever wins Born Academy versus Platypus. And lastly, but not least, Waypoint Opacity got the bye because they were seeded number 1 and we had no 8th team. The second matchup would be Rage versus Virus, which I believe happened tonight. We don't have any standings for that yet. But they will be, whoever the winner of that is, will be playing Waypoint Opacity, which is your team, right?
That is Arrow's team. So a member of our team, Aeroplane, she's the coach of Waypoint Opacity. Very well coached team in Division 3, so should be a great game because she always brings a lot of preparation for her team.
Okay, and then we have from the Ashes Crimson versus Mass Tranquility and Power Wrangler versus Power Naps. Whoever is the winner of those will go on to face each other. Let's see if we can get some scoring right quick before we get off the air. I do not see any scoring submitted yet. So,
I submitted my scores, so we should see those too.
Let's see here. It doesn't help that it's completely out of order right now. There we go. Alright, so we do have scores. We have... Okay, so... looks like Love Shack put in their 04. And then Team Rage versus TG Virus. It looks like Team Rage was the winner of that. Let's see what we got going on. So that was a 3-1 win in favor of Team Rage. With TG Virus, the only map they won was the first one. So they had Nepal, which is where TG Virus got their 0-2, Dorado, where Rage 4-3'd, and then Hanamura, where they 2-1'd, and Kings Road, where they 4-3'd. And then for the Freaks and Beaks, it was unfortunately a 4-0 in their favor. So we had 2 4-0s via 4-foot / season leaving, if you want to call it that. I'm not sure
So,
what you want to call it.
question, Soldier, and maybe this is because I'm not reading the rules. Is it still? Do we still play all 4 maps, or is you just playing best of 3 because we don't need map
No,
differential
you don't
anymore?
need MF4 because that extra point means
Gotcha.
nothing. So yeah,
Okay.
it's best of 3.
Got it.
So that's the scores we have right now. We will post them as we get them because there was another game tonight. But we hope to see everybody tomorrow for a full stream with hopefully whatever casters can make it out tomorrow. Maybe bite me since his throat barely got to get warmed up this time.
Honestly.
It was a tease. But anyways, thank you for coming out and watching a whole 10 minutes and listening to us blabbermouth for probably 40 minutes of that of the entire stream. So everybody have yourselves a good night.